The head coach for Cape Fear is Taylor Todd Williams.
Underway between a couple of teams that won yesterday. Cape Fear and Andrew College. Andrew College knocking off USC Salkehatchie. And it was Cape Fear winners yesterday over South Georgia Tech. And immediately a steal. And it is dropped in on the other end of the floor by Nevaeh Farmer. Looking at the starters for both for the Sea Devils of Cape Fear. It is Nevaeh Farmer, Jada Cameron, Janelle Sindab, Ramani Robinson, and Jakia Brunson. Same five that started yesterday start today for Cape Fear. Meanwhile, a little different lineup for Andrew College with Brenaya Baker, Tiana Snowden, Jayla Hutchinson, Ronnie Harper, and Zora Hill. Ronnie Harper and Tiana Snowden were not in the starting lineup yesterday for Andrew College. As Cape Fear jumps out to the early 5-zip lead in this one. Well, I mentioned changes, as that is tipped away by Hill, but winds up in the hands of Maggie Hawley. Hawley already into the ball game. So a quick substitution on the part of Cape Fear, and it is Hawley who will go to the line and shoot. But that change in today's schedule, there will not be a 3 o'clock game. Originally, USC Salkehatchie and Albany Tech were to battle. But USC Salkehatchie came in shorthanded to begin with, had 6, and then lost 2 players yesterday to injuries. As that is stolen away by Robinson. Down to Brunson off the glass. And you got a timeout asked for by Andrew College. As 90 seconds into the game, Cape Fear has already put 8 on the board. I don't think that's a fan viewing the game. I think that's something that must have been left behind. If that is a fan viewing the game, well, we have entered a different realm, a different portal of reality. Which, heck, could be true. Didn't they have a hearing on UFOs recently in which it was affirmed that we are not alone? I don't think they're watching the game through a little pink stuffed animal, however. Basketball belonging to Cape Fear. They've got the 8-zip lead in this one. Sintab left alone down low and gets to a double-digit lead before a point is scored by Andrew College. Putting up the 3 ball is Baker off the rim. Rebounded by Brunson. Other side of the lane, off the window, and 2 for Hawley. Cape Fear jumping out to the 12-zip start. Here's the 3 ball. Hutchinson able to get rid of the goose egg for Andrew College. Hauling over to Farmer, sends it into the corner. Sindam getting into Brunson. Back out to Hawley. Top side give to Sindam. Shot clock to 5. Off the rim with a 3 try. It is rebounded by Harper. And she will lose it out of bounds, but it's tipped that way by Robinson. Here comes Bennett into the ball game for Andrew College. Bennett had some impressive minutes yesterday for this Andrew College squad. Comes into the game in a 12-2 contest. Shot down low. Taking it into the corner. Hutchinson feeds to Gay. Gay lost it, got it back, banks it off the glass. Tipped out of bounds. But it is tipped that direction by Harper. And it'll be Cape Fear ball. Sindam into the paint. That is Emiraiko Vaught. And Miss Vaught who will go to the stripe shooting. First of 2 games, not 3 today. And that last game will not be moved up to 5 o'clock. It will stay at 7. And we'll just have a gap in between. Cape Fear, a Division II team. A very good Division II team. Hutchinson trying to get it to Gay. Too strong with the pass. And it'll be Cape Fear ball put in play to Hawley. Back over to Hawley. Top side give, then into the paint to Vaught. Vaught misfiring. Bennett with a basketball. Not quite halfway through the quarter. Over to Hutchinson. Harper's got it. Brings it down low, lost it out of bounds. And apparently that went off Vaught. So Andrew College, which is headed to the other end of the floor, thinking that, hey, it's their ball. Well, it's not. It's the Fighting Tiger ball. And it'll be put in play by Tiana Snowden. Also checking into the game, Anaya Brown. And that is out off Sindam. Tierra Spells into the game too. Spells was a starter yesterday. Gets the inbound, sends it over to Brown. Trying to get it out front to Bennett, tipped away. Able to get a hand on it, Farmer. So better to put it in play from the sideline. Stolen away by Farmer. She will lay it up and in. And it is back to a 14-point lead. Into the corner to Brown. Brown taking it baseline. She walked with it. And it will be Cape Fear ball. By the way, did you watch the Georgia Tech game last night? If you watched it to its completion, you were up until Saturday morning. 8 overtimes.
Robinson for Cape Fear.
Off the glass for Gay. Andrew College getting their second bucket of the stanza. Hawley able to track it down out near midcourt. Fed down low to Vaughn, lost it. Retrieved by Snowden. Strong bounce pass. Brown stepping around Hawley. Shot no good. Sindab trying to save it, but will dribble it out of bounds. So still Andrew College ball. And I think because we already had a team timeout prior to the midpoint of the stanza, we are not executing the first media timeout, which comes at the first dead ball inside 5. Snowden out front to Bennett. Hop, skip, and a 2 for Gay. And Gay's got 2 of the first 3 buckets for Andrew College. Hawley putting up the 3 ball off the rim. And a jump ball as Robinson and Bennett wind up with ball in hand. Out it goes to Hawley with Bennett defending. Over to Farmer. And Farmer walked. Put in play from and in front of the Andrew College bench. Spells to Bennett. Air ball on the long 2 try from Brown. It is rebounded by Demaya Pfeiffer into the game. Over to Farmer. Hawley says, I can hit this. Doesn't that time. Saved by Robinson, and then Robinson takes it away from Gay, and then Farmer watches it roll off Gay and out of bounds. Or actually off Farmer and out of bounds. And Andrew College will have possession. Rejected by Farmer, back into the hands of Brown. And you got a foul charge to Robinson. Accidentally put a knee into somebody. Snowden putting it in play from the baseline. Gets it out to Bennett. Hand off to Snowden. Spins into the paint. Trying to make it loose ball. Tipped out of bounds. Swatted that way by Snowden. And here comes Hill back into the game. Spells will exit for the Tigers. Put in play to Pfeiffer. Into the corner, Hawley with a miss on the 3. Brown grabbing the rebound. Snowden back over to Brown, back to Snowden. Brown with it out front. Works it down low, and Robinson stepped out of bounds while trying to flip it back onto the floor against Brown. So Andrew College will have it. Snowden coming off the floor, Hutchinson back in. And here comes Cedriana Evans while Brown goes out for Andrew College. Robinson getting her first breather for the Sea Devils. And Malia Jackson coming in. Shot clock dwindling, and there it runs out. And it'll be brought in for the baseline, put in play by Jackson. $12-point lead. It's been as much as 14 here in the opening stanza for Cape Fear. We put 12 on the board before Andrew College got a bucket. Jackson with a turnaround comes up just a little bit short. Out of bounds off Farmer. Bennett trying to get it down low to Kay. That is tipped out of bounds by Jackson. Hutchinson with it in the corner and walked. Holly popping the three. Well, the old saying, if at first you don't succeed, try again. Hutchinson with a miss. Evans able to come up with a loose ball. Into the corner it goes to Bennett. Bennett will drop in the three.
Bennett for Andrew.
Holly over to Farmer. Farmer off the rim. Loose ball picked up by Pfeiffer, and Pfeiffer will draw the foul. .106 to play, opening quarter, 22-9, Cape Fear advantage. I'm sitting here going, why does my screen look so kind of smudgy, dull looking? Then I realized it was not the camera, it was the glasses. The little readers need a little cleaning. Farmer off the glass for two. My, what a little wipe will do.
Farmer for Cape Fear.
Into the paint to Hutchinson. The one-hander is off the glass. A half minute to go in the opening quarter. Farmer to Holly in the corner. That is Pfeiffer for three. And we'll go out of bounds off Pfeiffer. Andrew Collins to put it in play for the corner. Evans to do the honors, trying to get it to Hill. Hill turns, goes to the glass, misses everything. Fought down with the rebound. Got the shot off before the buzzer, but it will come up just a little bit short. And going into quarter number two, it is Cape Fear with the 16-point lead.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Big lead for the Cape, 16 points after a stanza of basketball. The hangar in Americus, Georgia, a couple of days after Thanksgiving. And, oh, by the way, if it absolutely has to be done before December, you're running out of time. You got to about, 8 hours, 8.5. And December will be here. And by the way, speaking of the hangar, speaking of December, speaking of classics, we're back for the Holiday Classic between Christmas and New Year's here at the hangar. My great talent from all over the country will converge on America's Georgia. And we will have coverage of each and every game. Taking it down low is Jada Cameron. And you've got an offensive that will be charged to Jackson. So Cameron back into the ballgame, started the contest and went out quick. Also Monica Surratt coming into the game, or check that, that is Kelly Holmgren, who has checked into the game for Cape Fear. Sent down low, Spells with 2. Hawley with a miss, trying to bank it off the glass. It is Hutchinson rather, that comes up with the ball. Hands it over to Snowden, and Snowden lost into the paint, picked up by Cameron. Trying to flick it over to Pfeiffer instead. Winds up in Tiger hands. Holmgren with a block, but it went out of bounds off Holmgren. So Andrew Collins maintains possession. In play to Snowden. Lost it, able to get it back. Goes over to Harper, and Harper banks it off the glass. Stolen away by Harper again. Snowden one-on-one with Sindab for 2. And Andrew Collins cuts the lead to 10. Pfeiffer with a spin move, drops it in.
Pfeiffer for Cape Fear Sea Devils.
Hutchinson firing down low, and then Spells walked with it. Here comes Baker back into the ball game. Kaylee Hamrick checking in for the Tigers. Holmgren, Pfeiffer, Cameron, Jackson, all out of the game for Cape Fear, which means a new quartet of players. Surratt is in. That is Jamari Hardison driving to the glass for 2. Brunson is back into the game. And you got a walk. And Sindab is back in. Surratt in play to Hawley. Brunson, Spells may have got a body, or at least a piece of the body on the shooter Brunson. And Brunson will shoot. Andrew Collins from Cuthbert just about 45 miles. I guess it would be not up but down the road. Kind of south or southwest of here. Making the trip over this morning. Cape Fear staying in town. It's kind of a long haul to the Carolinas. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense in heading home. I understand. I live about 3.5 hours from here. Contemplated. Do I go home? But it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And they got a lot further drive, so it would make even less sense. Nearly stolen away by Sindam. That is Hamrick. Able to retrieve the loose ball. Harper. Spells putting up the 3. Off the rim. Simdad with it. Tipped in the hands of Harper. And she'll throw it right back into the hands of Brunson. Down low with a move. Hardison, and that will be a foul of the offensive variety charge to Hardison. Bennett coming back into the ball game for the Tigers. And it is Snowden who will go to the sidelines. Into the corner to Spells. Back it goes to Bennett at the timeline. Hawley defending. Hand it over to Hamrick. Bennett in the corner. Sends it down low. Spells with it. And it is Brunson that comes up with a loose ball. Takes it from one end of the floor to the other. The miss is the putback for Saran. Bennett from the top of the key, just a little bit short. And Gay coming into the ball game for the Tigers. Also Hutchinson in, Spells and Baker exiting. Sindam to put it in play to Hawley. Well, if you missed it yesterday, our halftime feature is back. The JUCO Rush, talking about junior college football. The Final Four, the 4 teams that are in as far as pursuit of a national championship is concerned. And again, that is a revised, a downsized version. If you want to watch the show in its entirety, it is available on YouTube. Mackenzie Morton into the game for Cape Fear. Hawley with it out front. Shot clock down to 2. And then it is stolen away by Hamrick. Bennett waiting for teammates. Goes to the other side of the floor to Harper. Harper with a long 2. Gay trying to get the putback. The foul is committed by Brunson. Cameron coming back into the game for Cape Fear.
Foul was on Brunson. First personal, 4th team foul.
That'll be the first on Brunson. And that has got us to the media timeout. First dead ball inside 5. So let's come back for the final 4:56 of the half in right about 30 seconds.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
That's a Georgia Tech hat. What a great ball game they had last night. Led it by a couple of touchdowns with 5 minutes to go. But Georgia comes back, and in the 8th overtime, win it by 2. Of course, overtime is not like it used to be. It's not, put it at the 25-yard line and punch it in and do that 8 times before you get a winner. Now in football, you got the 2 OTs with the ball at the 25. And then when you get to the 3rd OT in college football, you're basically just trying 2-point conversions. So 6 times and trying to break the tie with 2-point conversions, Georgia finally wins it.
Fouls on Jackson, second personal, 3rd team foul.
Brunson shooting. After the foul on Gay. And really, you've got to, I know they're down. I know the margin is fairly substantial, but you still got to send kudos to Andrew College because they were down 12-zip to start the game. So if you take away those opening 12, they've played pretty even since. And if you take those 12 away, you're looking at what? A 23-19 game? Gay trying to get it to Harper. But of course, you don't take those 12 away. You keep them in the total, I get that. But you're looking at the Fighting Tiger squad, though, that could have just packed their bags and said, you know what? We just got past Thanksgiving. Christmas is coming. We're down by 12. Let's check out. Well, they didn't. Cameron to put it in play from the baseline. Dropped in for Cameron. Make that for Brunson. For we broadcasters, it may need to become mandatory that you've got long hair that you kind of pull it up in a bun so we can see those numbers. Okay, I don't think that's going to fly. I don't think we're going to see any rule changes where the ponytails are concerned. Okay, going to the strike. A lot of rival games today in college football. I can see up in the hospitality room the Tennessee-Vandy game. Tennessee leading that one. I know from my home state, Alabama and Auburn tangling today. Michigan and Ohio State playing today. Last I checked, they were tied at 10. Arizona State playing all the rival games. Texas A&M. Fan down to Gay. Gay spins in the paint and will draw the Surratt foul.
Foul on Surratt. First personal.
Gay will shoot. It just dawned on me where I had heard Surratt before. Wasn't Surratt the name of one of the conspirators in the Abraham Lincoln assassination? Maybe the female that was executed? Wasn't she Mary Surratt? I'm not real good with the history stuff. Gay with a miss. There is a foul from Ronnie Harper. And it'll be Cape Fear ball. A 37-21 ball game. Morton with a down low, spin, shoots, draws the foul, goes to the line. I don't think Morton played last night in the win over South Georgia Tech, but getting some first half action here and getting her first points of the game. Pfeiffer and Brunson, the top scorers thus far in the half for Cape Fear with 6 each. Gay has been the Fighting Tiger best with 7. Trying to get 9, shot misses. Rebounded by Brunson, zips it down the floor to Morton, and Morton bumped from the backside by Hutchinson. So Morton, who went 1 of 2 just moments ago, back at the stripe. And will miss the front end of 2. And again, a 1 for 2 trip. A little different 1 for 2. Made the first, missed the last. Last time, this time missed the first, made the last. Over it goes to Bennett. That is Harper with a turnaround. Rebounded by Brunson. Also, Justice Everett has checked into the game for Cape Fear. And Everett's got it topside, handoff. Given to Morton. And Morton took a tumble and then slid about 4 feet. And since there is no call for sliding, and is all bottled up in that walk violation. Stolen away by Everett. Goes to the other end of the floor. Shot no good. Bennett with it. Able to get rid of it to Baker. Back into the ball game. Puts up the long 2. A little too long. Pfeiffer with the rebound. Lobs it over to Brunson, and then stepping in trying to tip it away is Baker, and she'll commit the foul.
Foul on Baker.
Spells back into the game for the Tigers as Brunson will go to the line. Hill coming in and Gay going out for Andrew College, and Kay 7 points thus far in the game. And there is the 7th point of the contest for Brunson. She'll go 1 of 2. Hill with a rebound. Fed to Hill. Hill from the left side, and Morton will commit the foul. And Hill looking for her first points of the game. One more game today, Southern Union and South Georgia Tech, slated for a 7 o'clock start. As we get inside, a minute to go. Half number 1. Morton feeds into the corner. She committed the offensive running over Brown. So the offensive foul, handing the ball back to Fighting Tigers. Kiliana Dixon now into the game for Cape Fear. Brown for 3. And she will rattle it in. That's the first Brown points of the game. Tipped out of bounds by Brown. Everett, handoff goes to Brunson. Brunson putting up the 3 ball. And she'll answer the Brown 3.
Brunson for Cape Fear.
Snowden lost it. Morton had it. Eventually, it is Dixon who comes up with it. From the top of the key. Brunson off the rim, and that is it. For 2 quarters of basketball.
43, Andrew College, 25.
So it is halftime at the Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic. And what we promised you at the half was that JUCO Rush, the downsized version, the version on a diet, it's coming up at halftime. With a reminder, the program in its entirety available on YouTube on the JockJive Sports Channel.
And welcome into the JUCO Rush. I'm Mike Fraser from downtown Chicago. He's Robert Williamson, Florella, Alabama. Robert, good evening.
Good evening, Mike. How is it in Chicago?
It's good, man. The NJCAA football poll, the playoff poll came out today, and man, it is now set. We knew who the 4 teams were, Robert. It was just a matter of who was going to sit in the 2 slot, who was going to sit in the 3 slot.
Do you want to see those polls?
Let's
are
see.
you really interested in what happened? You know, who's 1 through 4, who's 1 through 15?
Been waiting to get to this moment since August.
All right, let's do it then. There you go.
Georgia Military moves up to the 2 slot. Hutch moves to 3. Robert, that's a huge difference just from a weather pattern standpoint. Think about it. If you're Hutch, you're playing that game in December. It's on a good day, if you catch the weather right, it's 30 degrees with the wind out of the north at 15. Now you go down to Milledgeville, Georgia. It's going to be 65 degrees and partly cloudy.
It is definitely going to be different. Hey, can I do a little bit of this? Did you notice that those 4 teams were all 1-loss teams? No 2-loss teams. Did you notice that every one of those 4 teams had at least a loss? I mean, did you happen to notice that?
You called it.
It does reinforce, it validates that blind chipmunk and an acorn theory. It does kind of validate that.
Yeah, but one thing, hey, listen, luck is the residue of hard work. So there you go. I'm going to pat you on the back even more.
Well,
all right.
I asked for
one and only time. The one and only time. Hey, you were right. No, you called it. I said a 2-loss team when the season started would get in. It didn't happen. Came close, but it didn't happen. They got it in. Your thoughts? You surprised that the committee moved Georgia Military to 2 after they were 3 last week?
I thought it was the right thing to do. Now, you might recall last week I said, let me kind of hold back on the vitriol until we get to this poll, because I knew there were some different dynamics where this poll was concerned as compared to the prior, 11 or so. So I think it was right. I think the pollsters got it right. And I will say, even if Georgia Military had not been the number 2 team, this is an imperfect science, but I think they have done and tried to do as well as they possibly can, come up with a method by which to rank these teams in a fair and orderly process. And that would have been whether Georgia Military was 2 or not, but I think they deserve that spot.
You know, the committee is never going to please all the people all the time. I thought they did an outstanding job. They really avoided the big locomotive a few weeks ago of multiple 2-loss teams. And who do you put in a Navarro or an East Central if there was a 2-loss team? But you'll see on my poll, if I was a voter, I would have slotted Hutch at number 2. And matter of fact, there they are. And again, no disrespect to Georgia Military, none to Rob Manchester. I just think Hutch, for me, based on the eye test and strength of schedule, I think they get my vote as the number 2 team, Georgia Military 3, Northwest 4. Note this, Robert, on Northwest, how big was that Hail Mary against Holmes? How does that stand now? Northwest wins that game on a Hail Mary 50-yard touchdown pass. Remember, they lost their first game out of the year on the year to an unranked Pearl River team who was never ranked in the top 20 or the top 15 in the NJCAA or the JUCO Rush poll. Robert, that turned out to be a huge play that propelled Northwest into the postseason.
Behind every successful team and season, there is a little bit of good luck. There was a lot of bit of good luck against Holmes on that particular night. And yeah, that Hail Mary turns into a Northwest win. Heck, they're not a number 4 team. They're not in if that Hail Mary is not complete. It was, and they are.
And you're right. And they get in there. So the 4 teams are set. I would put a Hutch number 2. You've got them at number 3. The committee voted as a group that Hutch is the number 3 team, and they'll have to go on the road to take on Rob Manchester and the Bulldogs. And that game is an afternoon. It's a matinee affair on December the 8th. Iowa Western on December 7th will entertain Northwest. And, man, again, Council Bluffs in December, going to be cold. But look, East Mississippi went in there last year and beat Hutchinson in a cold weather game. So I think I don't think that's going to affect Benji. And look, they've got a beast back there in the running game. I mean, a Demarion Petit, this guy is just tough as nails. So I don't think the weather plays a factor. I mean, of course, if there's a snowstorm or some sort, but the temperature is not going to stop Northwest. This is a tough football team. And Scott Strohmeyer will tell you, Iowa Western has their work cut out for him in this matchup. And interesting, you look at Iowa Western at number 1, they're at home. They play the toughest schedule in the league, in my opinion, and their reward is the champ out of Mississippi, Northwest.
Yeah, and my top 6, almost identical to yours, with the exception, as you mentioned, Georgia Military. I've got 2, Hutch 3. This is starting to concern me a little bit, though, over the course of time now, 10 or 11 weeks of this show. Are you and I starting to think alike? That scares me a little bit, and it should scare the heck out of you.
Yeah, I know. Stunning that we agree on something, but you look at we don't agree on the 2 and 3 slot, but most other things we do. And you watch this long enough, a lot of things just happen to fall into place. I'll tell you what fell into place is my players of the week. How about the SWJCFC, the conference championship game? Congratulations to Navarro. They win that football game 31-28. What a game. 14-13 at the half. Then Navarro opens up a lead. Tanner Jacobson and the Apaches run a fake punt that goes for a touchdown. They're right back in it. It finishes 31-28. And Navarro, their 6th SWJCFC conference championship as they get it done. And my first, I'm staying in with 2 guys from Navarro. First, I'm going with my man Clay, the running back, 23 carries, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Also caught a couple of passes. He was instrumental in the Bulldogs' victory over the Apaches. And then I'm going with Tim Burns, 10 catches, 165 yards, and a touchdown. He was the go-to guy for quarterback Mason Shorb. He sat down with the JUCO Rush. And now joining us, Tim Burns, wide receiver for the Navarro Bulldogs, SWJCFC champs. Tim, I know that's got to sound good.
That sounds amazing.
This is the 6th title for Navarro in the 29-year history since going to this conference title and playing football and getting it done. That game was close, 31-28, but 14-13 at the break. Then you extend the lead. Then Tyler runs that fake punt. Man, a lot of drama. What was racing through the mind of you and the players on the sidelines when all of a sudden it became a real tight game fourth quarter?
We had a level head. Like, we understood that we came out slow and made the game harder than what it was. So going into halftime, we just came together as one and just spoke. Like we just kept everybody head up, let everybody know, like, we still good. We still in this fight. The ball game's not over. We got 30 more minutes of football to play. Like, anything can happen at this point. We just gotta go back out there coming out to halftime and ball out.
Tim, you had a different quarterback at the start of the year, and then Mason Shorb comes in during, I think it was the blend game. Obviously, you and he clicked, but from your perspective, did it really matter who was at the helm?
Honestly, it did. I told both quarterbacks coming into the season, if y'all need help, I'm here to help. Whatever I can do, just make sure, give me the ball. I'm gonna help change the game, no matter how I need to do it.
You are from Miami, Florida. You're playing football in Corsicana. There's a little difference between Miami, Florida, and Corsicana, Texas. So how did you adjust to the different culture, and how has it affected you as a football player?
As far as adjusting to the culture, I just surrounded myself around people who either was from Texas or was from here, and they helped me, get along with it and see the different things to do out here, rather than me being from Miami. Well, there's a lot of things to do. And as far as adjusting, I did great with it, honestly.
Tim, as we talk with Tim Burns here on the JUCO Rush, Tim, your strength as a wide receiver, what's your best asset? Hands, speed, what is it?
I say speed. Speed kills. Get in and out of your breaks, in and out of your routes. Speed kills.
Who recruited you to Navarro?
Coach Jay.
And how did that process lead to you signing with the Bulldogs?
It was a long process, honestly, and they just stuck with it. They stuck with me, and I thank them so much for that. And they brought me in, and it's crazy because last year they brought me in as a DB, and I transitioned this year as a receiver. And Coach Patrick Hall, he developed me and helped me become what I am today. The
SWJCFC is well respected. How tough was it playing in that league? How did JUCO football mature you as a football player?
the conference itself was definitely tough. That's what I can say. Like, each game was not an easy game. Like, it wasn't I'm gonna come in and make sure, we gonna come in and just handle this team. Like, each game was definitely a fight, and it was just the best team that won.
You look at the future for you. You guys are going to probably go to a bowl game.
Yes, sir.
Just your thoughts on that.
That's a blessing for all of us. That's more game, more things, more film, more team, more time to play with each other. Man, Coach Patrick makes practice hard for us. So no matter if it's a bowl game, a conference championship, a regular game, like each and every week was practice. Make sure we come to practice. We start practice, the receiver corps start practice 30 minutes earlier. And we started 30 minutes earlier just to make sure we warmed up, we ready to go, everybody awaken, and we just, all as one as a unit.
You went up against Will Cornelson and Darian White last week.
Yes, sir.
In that secondary. What was that experience like playing against those two talented guys?
They're very talented. That's what I can't give them. Those are some very talented guys. But us as a receiver corps, we just knew, like, coming into the game, no matter what, nobody can play with us. Honestly, that was our mindset throughout the whole year. We never seen a defense that could cover all of our guards, and we just knew, like, coming into this game, somebody, no matter who it was going to be able to have the opportunity and just shine.
What's next for you as we wrap up our conversation? After the bowl game, where are you headed next?
As of now, I won't display that now because I'm still weighing in options. But I definitely have something to say soon.
Tim, it was great watching you play this year. Congratulations on the title. Stay healthy in the bowl game.
Yes, sir.
And we wish you nothing but the best, young man.
Thank you.
All right, for Robert Williamson, I'm Mike Fraser. This has been the JUCO Rush. Thanks to our special guest, Tim Burns of Navarro, the wide receiver, and also the chair of the selection committee, Jake Ripple. We'll see you next week, everybody. So long.
Second half action gets underway in a 43-25 contest, and immediately a whistle blown and a foul called. That is going to be charged to Hutchinson. And it will put Brunson at the stripe for Cape Fear. Taking a look at your first half stats, leading score for the Sea Devils in the half is the Lady at the stripe. Had 10 in the first half, knocked down one there. And now has 12 in the game. As far as the rebounding lead, there were several tied for that honor for the Sea Devils. With 3 each, Sindab, Pfeiffer, Brunson. Meanwhile, the assist leader Hawley with 3. As Morton brings it to the other end of the floor, takes it to the glass, lays it up and in. 4 in the game for Morton. Most time on the floor in the first half for the Sea Devils. It was Hawley's 15 minutes and 4 seconds. Meanwhile, on the other side of the floor, Andrew College. Tashay Gay had 8 points and 4 rebounds, led in both categories. Snowden with 3 assists. And the most time on the floor belonged to Ronnie Harper, 12 minutes and 27 seconds. Reaching in, taking it away is Hutchinson. Just yanked it away from Everett. Down low to Hutchinson, into the paint, Hill. Surratt committing the foul. And you do not have a starter on the floor, at least the starters that began the first half, beginning the second half for Cape Fear. You've got Morton, Dixon, Surratt. We'll check that. You do have Brunson. So Brunson, the lone starter from one half to the other. And Everett also on the floor to begin half number 2. For Andrew College, it is Baker, Hutchinson, Hill, Snowden, and Gay. A little different look to the starting 5 in half number 2 as compared to half 1. But really the antithesis to the Sea Devils. Sea Devils, 4 starters on the bench to begin half 2. For Andrew College, 4 starters on the floor to begin half number 2. Baker to Snowden. Puts it on the floor. Dixon defending. Hutchinson giving it to Baker. Baker's 3 no good. Hill's follow-up no good either. Hutchinson onto the floor to Baker. Down low, Hill. Gay getting the rebound. Hutchinson says, let me try it from here. Not there. How about another board? And Gay eventually gets fouled. So Surratt picking up her 3rd foul. Comes out of the game. Into the game is Malia Jackson. Points off turnovers in the first half. Cape Fear 15, Andrew College 13. From the bench, about the same. 14 for the Sea Devils, 16 for the Tigers. Turnovers in the first half, there were 33, the 2 teams combined. 12 for Cape Fear and 21 for Andrew College. Largest first half lead, 19. There were no lead changes and there were no ties in the first 20 minutes.
Zora Hill, 1 for 2 from the foul line.
Morton shot no good, but there to snag the rebound is Hardison. Back into the corner, Hardison puts up the 3. Baker with it. And Morton reached in and swatted it away. Harper in, Hill out for the Fighting Tigers. At the 7:08 mark. Here in quarter number 3, put in play the game. Baker with it out front. Over to Harper and then stolen away by Brunson. Morton's got it out front. Back over to Morton, shoots the 3. In and out. Harper gives to Bennett. Topside give to Baker, puts up the 3 ball, and she'll drop it in.
Farmer for Cape Fear. And with that, Baker for injury.
Hardison working her way to the right side, off the glass and rim. Not there, Harper with the board. Kicks it out to Bennett. Baker bringing it out on the right corner, picks up the dribble at the timeline. Hutchinson to Bennett. Yeah, that'll go out of bounds off of Hardison. And don't forget, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, man, would we be tickled pink if you did. I'm going to have to look that up. I do have a degree in Googleology. I'm really not sure. Can you be tickled pink? Can you be tickled pink without passing out or, something worse? Okay, so maybe tickled pink is not the appropriate terminology for the delight we would feel if you'd subscribe to our YouTube channel. And you're watching on YouTube, so there should be a subscribe button nearby, which means you've got access to games, to interviews, to shows, and more. Hardison working her way into the paint, reaching in is Baker. And Baker will commit the foul. On shooting, it'll be brought in from the baseline. Hardison to do the honors. And Hutchinson was on the other end of the floor. I guess she thought it was headed that way. Scampers down to this end. Inbounds goes to Jackson. And that will ricochet off Brunson out of bounds. Hutchinson dribbling it into the hands of Hardison, but Hardison can't hang on. And it will go out of bounds. Baker to put it in play. Gets it out to Bennett. Of course, plenty of basketball after basketball wraps up here. As you got a walk by Bennett. We've got coverage on Tuesday and Saturday next week. And then the following week, basketball just about every day. That second week in December. Teams getting their fill around ball before heading to wherever they head for the holidays. Over to Hutchinson. Harper at the stripe. Hardison reaching in. And I think she got a hand on Harper. And that will take us to the media timeout. 49-32. Cape Fear lead. A little better than halfway through quarter number 3. Just about all white Jones County. Diving catch it, shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Craft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it. Likes her own James. Used to be my girl. 1977. About to date myself. Was a sophomore in high school, I think. Yeah, it's been a while. Still great music. Okay, I'm a little biased. The best music comes from the 70s. Early 80s. Gay into the game, and she's now in double digits with 10. Fed down low to Brunson. Giving over to Sindam, checking into the game. Hawley is in the game too. Also Vaughn and Pfeiffer. And I think that was intended for Vaughn, but it was much taller than Vaughn is. Did apparently get Fighting Tiger claws on the way out. So Cape Fear will be able to maintain possession. Put in play to Vaughn. Lost into the paint. Baker's got it. Nice pass and finish on the other end of the floor. Snowden.
Snowden for Andrew.
Brunson to Pfeiffer. Trying to feed it to Vaughn. Reclaims it in the corner. Brings it into the paint. Double dribble before putting up the two. And it is Andrew College basketball. Harper puts it in play to Snowden. Last day of November. Next to the last day of the Classic. Baker putting up the three ball. It's off the rim. And apparently got a piece of Hawley before going out. Gay coming off the floor. Spells coming in. Harper. Shot no good. Vaught with a rebound. Hands it over to Hawley. One-hander from Brunson, got her own rebound, sends it out front to Sindam. Back over to Hawley, and you got a reach by Brown. Non-shooting foul, it'll be brought in from the baseline. Hawley to take care of the chores. 2:51 to play in the third. In a 13-point game. Sindam getting into Hawley, puts up the three ball. She is off the rim. Vault's got it. Sindam driving, and she'll be charged with the offensive. Sindam coming out, Farmer in, Vaught out, Robinson in. 2:39 to go in the third. Into the paint to Jemiah Evans, who just got into the game. I don't think she realized how open she was. And the defenders had kind of skirted away. Did get fouled, though, and will shoot two. So Jemiah Evans looking to get on the scoreboard, pick up her first points of the game. And foul charge to Robinson, who just got back into the ballgame. Turns it into an 11-point game. That is as close as this game has been since that 12-0 start for Cape Fear. Cameron into the game. Hawley will exit for the Sea Devils. Farmer puts it on the floor. Sintab with a screen. Three ball is a little bit long. Able to get it back. Farmer feeds to Cameron. Cameron leaving the round ball behind. Able to go back and get it. Pfeiffer with it. Left turn to the paint. Off the glass. No good. Cameron wrestles it away from Brown. Sintab out front with it. Nice feed to Cameron. And it is Cameron who committed the foul. Ran into Brown. And that's got us going to the other end of the floor, shooting free throws.
Foul on Cameron. First personal, 15 foul.
Brown with 3 in the game.
Brown on the line for injury.
Trying to add 2 more. And an opportunity to make it a single-digit lead. This has not been a single-digit ball game since about the 8:24 mark of the first stanza. But it is now as the lead is cut to 9.
Brown, 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Cameron out front. Picks up the dribble and gets rid of it to Pfeiffer. That is Pfeiffer rather, and Pfeiffer inside the stripe with a miss. Rebounded by Harper. And she will tumble while trying to rip away the basketball from would-be Steelers. And that walk puts the ball back into the hands of the Sea Devils. Robinson to Pfeiffer. Farmer with a miss, rebounded by Snowden. Into the corner, 3 ball, no good from Baker. It is Farmer who's got it, going the other way, gets ahead of the pack, lays it up, off the rim, no good. Cameron back to the glass for 2. Handed over to Baker, trying to get it out front to Harper. It is stolen away. Cameron twisting the ankle, coming down in pain on the other end of the floor. But she is up and hobbling back. 3 ball off the rim for Snowden. And it looks like Cameron is going to come off the floor and is going to grab a seat over behind the scorer's table. And we will see if a trainer, looks like a trainer is now tending to Cameron. Hopefully it's one of those where, it burns when you pop it over, but you walk on it a few steps and you're good to go. Tipped out of bounds. .7 remaining in the third. That is Pfeiffer off the glass. Well, they were down by 12 before putting a point on the board. Trimmed into single digits. And Andrew College will be down by 11 going to the fourth. That is Jada Cameron. And she is going to get that ankle wrapped up. I don't know if that means she is done for the day. Maybe as a precaution, coach keeps her off the floor. It obviously is not a game that has any impact on your conference. You've got an 11-point lead going into the fourth. And you've got a lot of significant games ahead on the schedule. So we will see if Cameron gets the rest of the night off or comes back as we get the fourth underway. Off the side of the backboard, that's out of play. And it will be the Sea Devils with a basketball. Pfeiffer for three. Hawley, by the way, came back into the ball game when Cameron went out. Shot over into the corner and Gay with a miss on the long two. Pfeiffer with a rebound, tipped by Snowden, but able to gather it in is Farmer. Hawley bringing it baseline. Lost the dribble, coughs it up to Brown. Tipped away by Pfeiffer, but there to retrieve was Hutchinson, and Gay loses it out of bounds. Harper into the game, spells coming out for Andrew College. Pfeiffer with the drive, drew the foul. And Pfeiffer with 9 in the game with an opportunity to go over double digits.
Hutchinson, fourth personal.
Hutchinson picking up her fourth foul. Morton coming in, Hawley out for the Sea Devils.
Pfeiffer on the line.
Pfeiffer now with 10 in the game.
Pfeiffer, 2 for 2 from the free throw line.
Stolen away by Robinson. Over to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer with a miss. Gay coming up with a board, gives it to Snowden. It is picked off by Farmer. She will have the uncontested lay-in.
Farmer for the Sea Devils of Cape Fear.
Another steal. But stepping out with it is Farmer. Bennett into the game for the Fighting Tigers. Here comes Baker 2. Snowden leaving the game, and Hutchinson coming out of the game. In play to Harper, given back to Bennett. Baker nearly losing the dribble. Morton tipping it away. Pfeiffer coming up with a loose ball. That is out of bounds off Andrew College. 2 winners yesterday. Andrew College, big win over USC Salkehatchie. And of course, it was the game that saw 2 Indians for USC succumb to injuries, and there was only 6 on the team. And I don't think you can start a game with 4 as that goes backcourt. You can finish it with 4 or less. I guess you could finish it with 1. But you've got to start the game with the allotment of players. That game is designated for basketball, obviously 5. So the Indians didn't have 5 to start a game and had to make the early trip home. And I know one of the 2 injuries was on crutches yesterday. So let's hope the injuries, though they look obviously significant, are not. Or maybe they do pick up some additional players at the end of the semester, which is the start of the new year. Evans into the game, gives over to Harper. Feeds into the paint to Brown. Robinson says, I'll take that. Farmer on the other end of the floor. Rebounded by Bennett. And a foul called on Farmer. Was that of the T variety? Must be. So I'm assuming something was said that drew the attention of the umpire. And Evans shooting the technicals. Both shots good. It's a 58-42 game.
Edmonds 2 for 2 from the foul line.
Evans sending it into the corner to Harper. Fed back to Evans. Shot misses. Robinson down the floor to Sindab, and Sindab is fouled. So Sindab coming to the stripe. There's a little chirping going on. Sindab nearly walked the free throw line on the other end of the floor. I'm assuming maybe as a cool down mechanism. Bennett fouled by Pfeiffer. And yeah, it is getting a little chirpy. The contact between Bennett and Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer's gotten a little hot, and teammates now trying to calm her down. And I think the umpire is calling coaches over to say, okay, listen, we're gonna calm this down. We're gonna cool temperaments. And we're gonna do it via a timeout. A little break, a little moment to chill. Put in play to Bennett. Pfeiffer stepping out to defend. And there is a foul called on Morton.
Foul on Morton.
Non-shooting foul, and it'll be brought in from the sideline. Brown getting into Bennett. Bennett lost into the paint, able to get it back at the elbow. Feeds over to Hutchinson. Down on the rebound is Robinson. Pfeiffer, two-pointer, no good. Tracked down by Bennett. And you got a foul called on Pfeiffer. That'll be 3 on Pfeiffer. Got 2 Sea Devils set to return, and one of those is Cameron. So good to see Cameron back into the game. Twisted that ankle. Got it taped up and apparently is okay now, though. I thought it was a shooting foul. It is not. Brought in with the give from the sidelines, Hutchinson to Bennett. Into the corner, Bennett trying to sling it back onto the floor. Able to track it down was Hutchinson. Back over to Bennett. Swatted away again. And out of bounds off Robinson. Brunson back into the game too. So when Cameron came back in, Brunson came back in. Aaron inbound, Sindab with it. Rebounded by Brunson. And then Snowden wraps it up. And you got to jump onto the possession arrow. We'll keep it on the Cape Fear end. We are at the media timeout. Last one of the ball game. 4:48 to play. A 61-42, 19-point Cape Fear lead.
Georgia Technical College, where we make it happen.
Whether your dream is to become a welder, a nurse, a restaurant owner, electrician, or aircraft mechanic, South Georgia Technical College can help you make it happen. SGTC has over 200 associate degree, diploma, and technical certificate of credit programs of study available. Visit our website at southgatech.edu for more information or to apply, or call 800-928-0283.
So what are you waiting for? Let's make it happen.
Well, there's a Georgia Bulldog fan and seated just a couple of seats away. There's a Georgia Tech fan. I wonder if they're talking. Georgia Tech fan is like, I'm not talking to you. 8 OTs and y'all won it last night. It was a great game, though, wasn't it? I know I've already talked about it. And I'm not from Georgia. So I'm not, I don't have a dog in the fight, so to speak. And no pun intended. But it was indeed a great ball game. And major implications for Georgia. Had they lost that game, wow. It would have had a major impact. Reaching in, Farmer trying to take it away. And you'll get a jump on. The possession arrow will, I think, leave us on this end of the floor. The arrow is pointed to the Andrew College end. So it is put in play from the near sideline. And Evans was lacing up the sneakers and had requested time to do so. So we go back to the throw-in. Hutchinson driving, banking. Cameron tripped up. Non-shooting foul, third one in the corner for the Tigers. Baker coming into the game and Bennett going out. Farmer to put it in play from the baseline. Another reminder, too, if you want to watch this game or any game that we broadcast here on JockJive, you can sign up for the premium channel. It's only $25, and it gets you a year's worth of any and everything on the website. And unlimited downloads. That's about 900 games you get access to. And if you do like I do, you get to the hotel, you flip through the channels, you go, I don't want to watch that, don't want to watch that, no, not that, seen that, heard about that. Well, there may be something on our site that you would want to watch. Junior college basketball, baseball, softball, football, volleyball, and a whole lot more. Farmer extends the lead again to 19. To the other side of the floor, Sindam off the glass. And that's what your premium channel subscription does. Gives you access to yet another source of sports. And a timeout on the floor. 3:28 to play. Day number 2 of the Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic. He's checking scores. Wants to know what's going on elsewhere. College football, college basketball, and more. Okay, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just making an assumption. $3:27 to go. I always make the assumption it is sports related when you're on your phone, but that's certainly not always true.
Foul on Snowden.
Snowden committing the foul. Farmer going to the line.
Farmer will shoot 2 shots.
Looks like Cape Fear is going to go 2-0 in classic play. Andrew Cottage 1-1. 22-point lead, 3 minutes, 14 seconds to go. By the way, the Albany Tech USC Salkehatchie game, not going to happen. If you just joined us, Indians don't have enough players to start the game. So we skip the 5 o'clock slot and then have a 7 o'clock game between Southern Union and South Georgia Tech. Brown with the bucket.
Brown for the basket.
Contact down low initiated by Brunson. And it is Andrew College basketball, 2:42 to go. Snowden able to get it to Brown. Down to Baker. Baker quickly off the glass and rim for two.
Hutchinson for Andrew.
Fed down low to Brunson. Brunson leans in for a pair.
Brunson.
That is 14 now in the game for Brunson. Gay to the glass. Retrieved by Robinson. Sindham bringing it out of the corner. From the elbow, just a little bit off. Farmer, the putback good. And she too with 14. Baker, loose ball. Farmer gets it, whips it over to Cameron, and Cameron up and in for two.
Cameron for the Sea Devils.
And Cameron now a point away from double digits at 9. Over to Sindham. And Sindham a point away from double digits at 9.
Sindham for Cape Fear.
Got the Robinson steal. And now Cape Fear says, heck, we got a nearly 30-point lead. Let's run some time off the clock. They've got a 30-point lead.
Farmer for 3.
And Farmer becoming the leading scorer for the Sea Devils and pushing that lead out to 30. Brown off on the 3 try, wrapped up by Cameron. And Robinson will dribble it out. And that is your ball game. 78-48 final. Cape Fear going 2-0 in classic play. Andrew College now 1-1 at the Lady Jets Pete Arrington Thanksgiving Classic. We're 2 hours, 13 minutes away from game number 2 tonight. Southern Union and South Georgia Tech. This one is final, a 78-48 win. Cape Fear, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in a couple of hours. For all of us at South Georgia Tech and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.